date Brooke Shields, who became his first wife, and Brooke was a client of mine. And he was going through a really rough time. He wrote about it years later. He actually was considering quitting the sport. His father was his coach. He did a problem with his wrist. He had this challenge, and all of a sudden he went from number one in the world in very short order. I don't remember the number. I think it was like number 24 or 26 or something like that. And so Brooke said to him, "You should go see Tony Robbins. That's what he does. He'll turn you around." He goes, "I don't need positive thinking." And Andre, by the way, is a really super nice guy. But can nice people be mean and they're in a mean state? Yeah. So he's like, "I don't need this bullshit. I'm not here enough for punch." She goes, "That's not what he is. He's a strategist. He'll show you what you did when you're at your best. He'll get you back there." So he was frustrated, nothing else worked, so she dragged him to my house. He comes to my home, when I was 30 years old, so 35 years ago, 30 plus years ago. And he comes in, shakes my hand, he plops on the couch and says, "Do your shit." And I looked at him and said, "Excuse me?" He said, "Yeah, do your shit." I said, "Well, first of all, you're in my home." I said, "Second of all, it's not shit." I said, "Third of all, the first thing to change is your attitude if you want some help." He goes, "I'm sorry, but I'm frustrated." I said, "Well, tell me what's going on." So he tells me the whole story about his wrist, and his father, and all, and this, and nothing's working. So I asked him a simple question. I said, "Andre, just let me ask you a simple question. Have you ever hit a tennis ball perfectly?" He said, "No." I said, "The attitude can go first." "It's fine, yes." I said, "Think of a time when you hit a tennis ball perfectly. Close your eyes, think of it. Get in state. Get yourself back there." Oh, another one. After about 3 minutes of him doing this, his whole face changes, his posture changes, everything shifts. I said, "Okay, let me show you a video." In those days we had VCRs. Anybody old enough to remember a VCR?
Yeah.
Had this portable VCR rolling on wheels on this big ass TV we used to have. And so I roll this thing out in front of him and I push the button and I play. And on it is him when he won Wimbledon. And when he won Wimbledon, he comes out on the court like this. Literally, this is how he walks. And he's observing. He walks on the court like this. It's like he's prowling. And then he bounces the ball, boom, 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 boom. And in those days, he was wearing his baseball cap and he had this thing called hair. He used to have hair. He had this long ponytail. Anybody remember what I'm talking about, right? Long ponytail popping out. And so he took his ball and pulled, just for a second, he popped his hair like this. He looked at the guy. And he got this big smile on his face. And then he crushed it. And while he's watching the video, he starts smiling from ear to ear. I said, "Do you remember that moment?" He goes, "Oh, yes." I said, "Look at how you walked out there. You didn't walk out there like it was like you were prowling. Look how you bounced the ball." And I said, "And then look at that look on your face." I said, "What was this?" He goes, "I don't know, it just felt good." I said, "Okay, and then what were you focusing on in that moment?" He said, "I remember looking at him and thinking, why did you even show up?" That's uncertainty, right? So I go, "Okay, watch this." I take out the video, I pop in the French Open where he was demolished. He walks out in the court literally like this. This is what he looked like. He goes, kind of like Mr. Roper from Three's Company or some shit. He bounces the ball like this. And then I freeze frame it as he's looking at the other guy. I said, "Do you remember that moment?" He goes, "Yes." I said, "Who is this guy walking out here? Not even the same man." I said, "You remember you're focusing on?" He goes, "I remember looking at him and thinking about the last time he beat me and thinking I can't go through this again." So all I taught Andre to do was to walk the way he did initially, flip his hair, bounce the ball to that same rhythm, and find that exact state. And he went from, whatever it was, 27th in the world. He won the next 6 in a row. He placed second in the next one. The next 5 in a row, and became number 1 in the world. And he gave me unbelievable public credit. Maybe too much credit. Maybe not.